Hi, everybody. I'm Howard Glasser, and it's a pleasure to be with you. Today, I want to see if I could chip away at a nagging issue for some parents that has to do with electronics. It seems to be an ongoing concern in the community of people who have begun to learn about the nurtured heart approach. It's very relevant because the nurtured heart approach was designed for difficult children, and it actually understands that intense children in general are drawn to environments like video games because while they're playing a game like that, the programming is such that it compels them, it draws them in. I'm going to give you a live example, so to speak, or a pretend example. Here I am playing one of these games, and while I'm playing the game, while I'm going toward the goals, while I'm avoiding the pitfalls, while I am making my way and getting the goals, the game is in my face, energetically. Score, 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 bells and whistles, giving me evidence upon evidence of my success. And at any next moment, if I break a rule, it's a rule. And it doesn't feel sorry for me and go, oh, poor Howie, he's having a bad day, or let's let this one slide. It always holds me accountable. And the surprising thing is that even though on the screen it looks like when a rule is being broken, blood spurting, heads rolling, palms bursting, whether the child is just simply bumped from the game for a moment or the game's over, who's back in the game in 2 seconds? The child is. So this is so helpful to see, and they don't just come back in, they come back excited because game in, game on is so strongly alive with success that game off, game out is such that it creates a desire to get back in. 2 seconds feels like an eternity. So with that in mind, nurtured heart approach is kind of similar. You have your stand one, which I'm going to believe you have going already. Absolutely no. I'm not going to give relationship to negativity. But what I am going to do relentlessly is give energy to success. I'm going to go out of my way to create success, including when the child is not playing video games, but also when the child is playing video games. Go in there and be in admiration. Go in there and see the adept skills, see the capacities, see the character qualities that the child's using, whether they're being noble and showing valor and saving somebody, or they're being courageous and just and thoughtful or planned or strategic. These are incredibly important qualities to build. It's not just admiration, it's admiration and a growing push towards greatness and inner wealth. So in the many cases I've seen where a parent's distressed because a child seems to endlessly be lost in that world of video games and succumb to not getting out in life or not being available for family or friends or schoolwork or just get out of the room. For all of that, a parent's distress can be telegraphed to a child, so the child reads the distress as energy to negativity. I implore you not to go down the rabbit hole of beating yourself up or worrying about it. Take that same distress and worry and fear and anger and put it into your impetus, your courage to go and build inner wealth, build inner wealth, build inner wealth. And I promise you, at some point, the child's going to want to come out of their room. The child's going to want to be there with you. The child's going to want to be in the game in, game on, of family life, of life in general. And they're not going to be stuck in a room. Take advantage of the many times that they're not arguing, fussing, fighting. You could, while they're playing video games, you can go in there and be annoying. Go in there and say, I know you're busy focusing. I could see all the great moves you're making, and I just want you to know, thank you for not arguing with your sister. Thank you for not cussing and swearing or saying any mean-spirited things. Whatever it is, take advantage of that and also translate it into inner wealth. That shows how thoughtful and kind you are. It shows how caring and devoted to this family you are. Stand 1, stand 2, stand 3. I would use stand 3 two ways. This way and this way, this way and this way. I would use it to have your better personal boundaries of, I am not going to get into a tizzy with my child. I'm not going to give them energy. It's how they read the energy ultimately that determines whether or not you're abiding by stand 1. You may think you have a good stand 1, but in reality, they may read it as you're giving energy in an implied way. Why can't you be out here with your family? Implies that they're doing something wrong. So be that much more astute to how they're reading the energy. Get better at stand 1 by having your personal boundary. Have a personal boundary. I am going to be relentless. I'm going to be fearless in navigating the landscape of building my child's inner wealth. And while you're at it, build your own inner wealth. Use that same frustrating energy. Yes, it's frustrating. Before, I have my share of frustrations. I'm going to be in my stand 1 with myself. I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole, but I certainly am going to extract the nectar out of that frustration and use it to grow greater. So that's my advice. At this point, if I think of anything else, I will let you know. I know people wonder, when's it going to end? How long is it going to take? Every child's different depending on their intensity and depending on how we're leaking energy to negativity. It's all about relationship. We want to show that our relationship is all enhancing. You are the greatness of being all enhancing. Maybe that's what you'll pour your energies into. And I implore you to go full tilt in lending your energies and relationship to building inner wealth. Okay, I'll see you next time. Thanks for your delicious questions, and I'll still be here answering them next time.